Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Espresso English. I'm your host David, and joining me today is our brilliant co-host, Linda. Hi Linda.
Hi David. Hello to all our listeners out there. I'm thrilled about today's episode because we're diving into the vibrant world of celebrations, holidays, and diverse cultures. We'll be discussing a variety of festivals, from well-known global events to culturally specific celebrations like Nowruz, the Persian New Year. This episode is chock full of high-level vocabulary and idioms that will be incredibly useful for IELTS learners.
That's right, Linda. We'll not only explore the significance of these celebrations, but also unpack some advanced vocabulary and idioms. I'll throw in some challenging words, and you can explain them so our listeners get a clear understanding. Let's jump right in. To kick things off, I want to mention the word festivity. It encapsulates the exuberance and lively spirit of celebrations. Festivity means a state of celebration or an occasion marked by merriment. It's a great word to describe the atmosphere during any holiday or event.
Exactly, David. When you hear festivity, imagine a scene filled with energy, music, and communal joy. In many cultures, festivities go beyond mere fun. They carry deep historical and social significance that connects people over generations.
Another key term is tradition. Tradition refers to customs or beliefs passed down through generations. For instance, many countries celebrate their heritage with traditional festivals like Lunar New Year or Diwali, which are steeped in history and symbolic practices.
That's right. Traditions serve as a way to preserve cultural identity and reinforce community bonds. They're like the threads that weave the fabric of society together.
Before we move on, let me introduce an idiom that many IELTS candidates might encounter: to break the ice. This means to do or say something to relieve tension or get conversation started in a new situation. Imagine a host at a party telling a lighthearted joke to break the ice among guests.
Breaking the ice is a practical strategy to ease into conversations, especially in social gatherings. It's a useful idiom for describing how to initiate interaction in unfamiliar settings, a perfect addition to your IELTS vocabulary.
Now, let's shift our focus to holidays. Holidays aren't just days off work or school. They're opportunities to commemorate historical events, honor traditions, and sometimes even express national pride. One universally celebrated holiday is Christmas.
Yes, Christmas is celebrated worldwide, though customs vary dramatically. In the United States and many parts of Europe, it's associated with decorating evergreen trees, exchanging gifts, and enjoying festive meals with family and friends.
While discussing holidays, consider the word reverence. Reverence means deep respect or awe, and is often linked with holidays of religious or spiritual significance. For example, during Ramadan, Muslims observe fasting and prayers with reverence, showing profound respect for their faith.
That's an excellent word, David. Reverence not only highlights the celebratory aspect, but also the solemnity of the occasion. It reminds us that many holidays involve both joyous and reflective moments.
Another important term is jubilation. Jubilation describes a state of extreme happiness or joyful celebration, like the feeling you get when your country wins a major tournament or gains independence.
Jubilation perfectly captures those moments of unbridled joy. For IELTS candidates, using a word like jubilation can really help convey the intensity of the emotions during significant events.
Let's delve deeper into diverse cultural celebrations. Every culture marks significant events in its own unique way, and these differences enrich our global tapestry. For instance, in India, apart from Diwali, there's Holi, the festival of colors.
Holi is a spectacular festival that celebrates the arrival of spring and the victory of good over evil. It's characterized by the playful throwing of colored powders, water fights, and exuberant music. Holi promotes unity and bridges social divides by encouraging participants to leave behind past grievances.
Absolutely, Linda. And speaking of symbolism, consider the term symbolism, which refers to the use of symbols to represent ideas or qualities. During Holi, the burst of colors isn't just visually stunning, it symbolizes renewal and the vibrancy of life.
Right? Symbolism in cultural events allows for deeper meaning behind the festivities. And while we're on the subject of idioms, here's a fun one. To paint the town red. This idiom means to celebrate lavishly and go out on the town in high spirits, which perfectly describes how some communities revel during festivals.
Paint the town red is indeed a colorful idiom that captures the essence of exuberant celebrations. It's a phrase that can add a lively twist to your IELTS descriptions of festive environments. Now, let's add a new dimension to our discussion by talking about Nowruz, the Persian New Year. Nowruz is celebrated at the onset of spring, usually around March 20th or 21st, and it heralds a time of renewal and rebirth.
Nowruz is truly captivating. It's celebrated not only in Iran, but also in many neighboring countries, symbolizing the rejuvenation of nature after the winter months. One of the most distinctive traditions during Nowruz is setting up the haft-seen table, a display of 7 items that start with the Persian letter S, each representing different hopes for the new year, such as health, prosperity, and rebirth.
That's right, Linda. The haft-seen table is a brilliant example of how symbolism works in cultural celebrations. Each item on the table carries deep meaning. For example, sabze, sprouted wheat or lentils, represents rebirth and growth, while senjed, dried oyster fruit, symbolizes love.
Nowruz is not just about the table setting. Families also engage in thorough spring cleaning, an activity called Kane Tekani, which symbolizes a fresh start and the sweeping away of the old to welcome the new. This concept of renewal is central to the celebration and can be a wonderful metaphor when describing personal transformations or new beginnings.
Exactly, Linda. And here's an idiom that fits perfectly with the spirit of Nowruz: a breath of fresh air. This phrase means something new and refreshing that revitalizes one's perspective, much like the arrival of spring during Nowruz. It's a vivid way to express the rejuvenation that this festival brings.
A breath of fresh air not only describes a literal change in the season, but also the feeling of starting anew. For IELTS candidates, using such expressions can vividly illustrate the transformative power of cultural celebrations. Nowruz, with its emphasis on renewal and community, is a prime example of how traditions can inspire hope and positive change.
Let's now explore how modern celebrations are evolving through globalization and cultural integration. Today, technology and media allow us to experience festivals in innovative ways, blurring the lines between tradition and modernity.
Absolutely, David. Globalization has led to a fusion of cultural practices. For instance, you might attend a Diwali celebration in a Western city that blends traditional Indian customs with local festivities. This merging of cultures is often described as syncretism.
Syncretism refers to the blending of different beliefs and practices into a cohesive whole. Modern festivals are prime examples of syncretism, where traditional celebrations adapt by incorporating contemporary elements, like digital displays or fusion cuisine, without losing their cultural essence.
And in these hybrid celebrations, the spirit of solidarity becomes even more prominent. Solidarity means unity or agreement of feeling among people, which is especially visible during large-scale events like national holidays or international festivals, where differences are set aside in favor of collective celebration.
Another idiom that resonates here is to be in the same boat. This phrase means to be in a similar situation or share common experiences. During global events, people from different cultures find themselves in the same boat, united by shared emotions and the collective joy of celebration.
That idiom underscores the idea of communal experience, reminding us that no matter our background, celebrations have a unique way of uniting people through shared moments of happiness.
Let's turn our attention to unique celebrations that have a profound impact on personal and cultural identity. Consider the Japanese festival of Hanami. the tradition of enjoying the fleeting beauty of cherry blossoms.
Hanami is a mesmerizing celebration. It's not only a tribute to nature, but also a reflection on the transient beauty of life. The cherry blossom is a potent symbol for impermanence, reminding us that life, much like the blossoms, is ephemeral.
Speaking of ephemeral, this adjective means lasting for a very short time. Using a word like ephemeral in your IELTS exam can demonstrate your ability to employ descriptive language when discussing transient events or experiences.
That's an excellent point. Celebrations like Hanami contribute to a collective cultural memory and reinforce an appreciation for the beauty in the present moment. They remind us to savor every experience, no matter how fleeting.
Another globally renowned celebration is the Brazilian Carnival. Known for its exuberant parades, colorful costumes, and infectious rhythms, Carnival is a celebration of life itself.
Carnival epitomizes vivacity, the quality of being lively and animated. It's an explosion of color and music that reflects Brazil's rich cultural heritage. In IELTS speaking or writing, describing Carnival using words like vivacity or exuberant can really enhance your narrative.
And while we're on Carnival, here's a fun idiom: to let one's hair down. This means to relax and enjoy oneself freely. Carnival is a perfect time when people literally let their hair down, embracing the freedom of expression without inhibition.
That's a great idiom, David. Let one's hair down perfectly captures the essence of carefree celebration and adds a touch of colloquial charm to your language, a definite plus for IELTS candidates.
Let's discuss how cultural celebrations can also serve as gateways to language learning and cross-cultural understanding. For many language learners, attending a celebration is an immersive experience that introduces you to idioms, slang, and conversational nuances that you might not learn in a classroom.
Absolutely, David. Immersion is one of the best ways to master a language. When you're surrounded by the language in its natural context, like at a festival, you pick up new vocabulary and idiomatic expressions effortlessly. It's like learning from a living textbook.
One word to describe such an experience is immersive. An immersive experience completely absorbs you, allowing you to learn in a context that's both practical and enjoyable. For IELTS candidates, discussing immersive experiences can showcase your ability to connect language with real-life cultural events.
Another idiom that fits here is to be thrown in at the deep end. This means being placed in a challenging situation without much preparation, exactly how language learners might feel when they join a native celebration. Although intimidating at first, such experiences accelerate learning and build confidence.
That's very true. And beyond language skills, these cultural experiences build what we call intercultural competence, the ability to interact effectively with people from different cultural backgrounds. This is a key skill in our globalized world and a topic that can enrich your IELTS answers. Let's switch gears a bit and offer some practical advice for our IELTS learners. When you're discussing celebrations or cultural events in your speaking or writing tests, be as descriptive and precise as possible. Mix advanced vocabulary with idioms to illustrate your points clearly.
A good strategy is to prepare a list of key vocabulary words and idioms related to cultural events. Words like festivity, tradition, reverence, jubilation, immersive, ephemeral, and vivacity are excellent. And don't forget idioms like break the ice, paint the town red, let one's hair down, count one's blessings, once in a blue moon, and a breath of fresh air.
That's right. It's also very effective to practice explaining these words as you use them. For example, if you mention the word jubilation, you might follow it with, which means a state of intense happiness, ensuring clarity for your examiner.
Practice with a partner or record yourself to build confidence. Engaging in conversations like the one we're having today can also help you integrate these expressions naturally into your everyday language.
Always relate your personal experiences to these vocabulary words. Instead of saying, I was happy, try, I was filled with jubilation, to add a touch of sophistication to your narrative. It makes your response much more engaging. As we near the end of today's episode, let's look ahead at how celebrations might evolve in the future. With the rapid development of digital technology, many traditional events are finding new life online. Virtual festivals and digital cultural exchanges are becoming increasingly common.
Yes, digital technology is transforming the way we celebrate. Virtual events allow people from all over the world to participate without the limitations of distance. This innovation not only broadens participation, but also preserves traditions in a modern context.
Innovation is a term that refers to the introduction of new ideas or methods. Many cultural festivals are embracing innovation by integrating interactive digital elements, making them more accessible and engaging for a global audience.
And as we embrace these changes, it's essential to remember the importance of empathy and understanding. An idiom that comes to mind is to walk a mile in someone's shoes. It encourages us to appreciate others' cultural experiences by imagining ourselves in their situation, a key mindset in today's multicultural world.
That's a perfect note to end on. Whether through traditional festivities or innovative digital experiences, celebrating cultural diversity builds bridges between communities and enriches our understanding of the world. That brings us to the end of today's discussion on celebrations, holidays, and diverse cultures. We've explored the significance of festivities from Christmas to Carnival, and we even dove into the rich traditions of Nowruz, the Persian New Year. Each celebration provides unique insights into cultural identity and community spirit.
I hope our discussion has given you not only new vocabulary and idioms like festivity, jubilation, syncretism, a breath of fresh air, and to be thrown in at the deep end, but also a deeper appreciation for how celebrations shape our cultural landscapes. Remember, every festival, whether it's Nowruz, Holi, or Hanami, is an opportunity to learn something new about the world.
Before we sign off, let's quickly recap some of our key points and vocabulary. Festivity, the vibrant, joyful atmosphere of celebrations. Tradition, customs passed down through generations that define cultural identity. Reverence, deep respect or awe, often linked with spiritual or cultural significance. Jubilation, a state of extreme happiness and celebration. Syncretism, the merging of different cultural or religious practices into a cohesive whole. Ephemeral, lasting for a very short time, like the fleeting beauty of cherry blossoms in Hanami. Immersive, providing a completely engaging, absorbing experience, like attending Nowruz celebrations. Solidarity, unity among individuals, especially during shared cultural experiences. Idioms, phrases such as break the ice, paint the town red, let one's hair down, count one's blessings, once in a blue moon, and a breath of fresh air.
And let's not forget our new segment on Nowruz, a celebration that marks the Persian New Year and symbolizes renewal, hope, and a fresh start. From the Haft-Seen table to spring cleaning, Nowruz teaches us about the beauty of starting anew and appreciating the cycle of life.
To all our IELTS learners, remember that practice is key. Use these words and idioms in your speaking and writing, and try to connect them with your personal experiences. Whether you're describing a local festival or a global celebration, each experience is a learning opportunity that enhances your language skills and cultural awareness.
Thank you for tuning in to Espresso English today. We hope that our conversation has been both educational and inspiring. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with fellow language enthusiasts. Your journey to mastering English is a celebration in itself.
Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and always be ready to break the ice with new cultures and experiences. This is David, alongside Linda, wishing you a festive and enriching journey ahead.
Goodbye, everyone. And remember, every celebration, whether it's a traditional festival like Nowruz or a modern digital event, is an opportunity to learn something new about the world and yourself.